Mazel Tov, my son got married last Thursday. And as is our minhag, our custom, the weekend after, or the Shabbat after, was our Shabbat Sheva Brachot, Shabbat Chatan, call it whatever you want, where our family and the bride's family came together. And I organized this beautiful Shabbat for the whole family. And it was a wonderful event. But I had this huge dilemma coming into the event that I really didn't know what to do. Hello everyone, my name is Sippy. I'm a nurse and certified food addiction counselor, and welcome to this video. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. So what was the huge dilemma? Well, as is the minhag or the custom, the groom gets an aliyah to the Torah, which is a very big honor, and people throw candies, right? You give out candies to throw at the groom. Now, for me, as I have been researching about food addiction and the addictive nature of these ultra-processed sugary foods, I found on a personal level very, very difficult to go to a store, buy a bag of these chewy candies, because they always buy the chewy ones because it doesn't hurt the groom when you throw it at them, and be a part of this feeding children these candies that are so toxic to them. And don't forget that today when we throw these candies and the children collect them and eat them, it's not the same as when we threw candies 20 years ago, because this is coming on top of all the added sugar that children eat today that children 20 years ago didn't eat, because so many of the products that didn't have this years ago are today laced with sugar, and children's meals are just so much higher in sugar content than they used to be. So how can I be a part of that, this thing about just adding more toxic food to these children, like throwing candies at the groom so that these children will collect them? And that's on top of the bar mitzvah that was that Shabbat that I knew they're going to get candies from that too. But on the other hand, I don't want to be that one who on principle doesn't throw any candies. This is part of the traditional celebration of having this wedding and this wonderful thing. And so I was really at a dilemma. How do I not be that person who doesn't do anything, or who just says, oh, I'm not throwing candies, but yet not take part in this toxic candy culture? And I found a solution. So it took a bit of work and it took a bit of investment, but you know what? Our children are worth it. So what I did is I made homemade chocolate out of 3 ingredients: cocoa powder, cocoa butter, and date honey. And I bought these little these little things to put it in, it was little hearts. I made these chocolate hearts. I wrapped them in saran wrap and put them in these little organza bags, and it was beautiful, and it wouldn't hurt my son, if your kid gets one in the head or something like that. And I made 100 of them. It took me a couple of hours. It wasn't this huge deal, but I decided that investment was worth it for me to be true to my belief that we don't have to poison our children in order to celebrate a wedding or a bar mitzvah or whatever it is. We don't have to do that by throwing poison at them. So yes, these chocolates do have sugar in them. I mean, date honey is sugar. Even if it is natural sugar, sugar is sugar. But if we compare it, this is in the time what I call that harm reduction, right? If we compare it to those chewy candies that have in them artificial colorings and flavors and aromas and emulsifiers, and it's this ultra processed total toxic junk, versus yes, having some sugar in some chocolate. I don't think that's the end of the world that kids have sugar, but at least here it was a homemade product with high quality ingredients, and also not toxic in the same way as those candies. And also, at least even for their teeth, those chewy candies are horrible for children's teeth. And today, if you ask dentists today, they'll tell you how children have so much more cavities and so much more tooth decay than they used to have years ago because they're eating so much sugar. So at least to that, I know I didn't promote that as with those chewy, disgusting candies. So for me, that was like that, my middle of the road that helped me with this dilemma. That I felt like on the one hand, I wasn't actually like promoting this like really promoting this poisoning of our children, and yet I was able to express the ceremony, the tradition, and the celebration of my son. So, what do you think of that? Do you have any great ideas what we could do? Because I thought about it, if we could like throw some soft toy, but that comes out also very expensive, and also it's very hard to find something that you can really throw hundreds. So this was the thing that I found the best to do. But I'd love your opinion. Tell me what you think about this. And of course, I'll post the recipe here. Just remember, this is not a recipe for sugar addicts. This is not a recipe for food addicts, but it might be a good recipe for your children instead of buying them chocolates in the store, because anything that's homemade with high quality ingredients is going to be a better choice than the absolute total toxic junk that is the candy that children eat that is bought at the stores. This is my message for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, a wonderful week, and I'll see you in my next video. Mazel tov, and we have of simchas. We should only have smachot, good times, wonderful times, and good news. Bye-bye.